Story 1. I think my girlfriend is about to dump me over a nearly 10-year-old video game. SOMA spoilers within. Beware. FML, man. I don't even know how to start this. I feel like I'm drinking crazy juice right now. My girlfriend decided to finally play SOMA. I bought it for her last year in a bundle for Christmas because she had been getting into horror games and I had really enjoyed it. She did too, and we had been chatting about a bunch of different game lore theories and ideas. All was going well until I mentioned that despite loving the game, I wasn't sure how I felt about the idea of a brain scan being enough to make a person. I just believe that being human is more than that. Hell, even on the arc, to me, it's just a bunch of zeros and ones, and the ending is even more tragic to me. I don't dismiss anyone else's ideas, of course, especially considering that according to lore, I might be factually wrong. Lol. I've never read the wikis or blogs or anything, and I don't claim that anything I say reflect anything the developers say. Doesn't that sound like I'm trying not to get sued? Anyway, as we were discussing the game, I told her this, and I got some pushback, but we've had plenty of debates before on things we don't agree on, and this felt no different, so I expanded on it, and we chatted some more in what I thought was a fun, pretty non-important conversation. I mean, me thinking robots cannot have a human soul doesn't change the relationship in my eyes, at least. Anyway, when all that was finished, she got pretty quiet, and I asked what was wrong. She kind of sighed and said that she just wasn't expecting my answers to be so cold. I asked what she meant, and she said that she couldn't believe how little sympathy I had for the robots, which I disagree with. I have huge amounts of sympathy, as it is showed that they can feel pain. I don't believe animals are human either, but I would never say that they don't deserve a life without pain. Just because to me they are a robot does not mean that it should be tortured. But she didn't agree with me. She was especially upset that I had killed all the robots I had a chance to in the game, claiming it was cruel, which I fought against, and asked if she seriously thought they were humans trapped in machine, that a life of insanity at the bottom of the ocean was better than death. At that point, she stopped talking, and she's been pulling away since. I'm pretty sure I'm about to get dumped, and I'm not sure whether to laugh or cry. Because not only is it because of a nearly 10-year-old game, it is over a 10-year-old game that I purchased her. What kind of sick effing irony is that? Story 2. Today I effed up by getting drunk and admitting I like my coworker. I work on a cruise ship, and while we aren't actually allowed to drink even when off the ship, plenty of my coworkers will go to bars at the towns we dock in. One of my newer coworkers is a girl named Mia, who is 23. I have the biggest crush in the world on her, and because we live and work on the ship together, we see each other often every day. We even have a part of our schedule where the two of us work together, and the entire time we're together, we're talking and laughing, and honestly, it'd be hard not to get a crush on her. My 21st birthday yesterday, and I got slightly peer pressured by my coworkers along with Mia to go to a bar for the first time ever. I had a few drink suggestions from them and was kind of drunk when the subject of relationships came up. Our ship's pastry chef asked if anyone liked anyone on the ship, and I said that I had a crush on Mia since she got on the boat. My coworkers started prodding Mia, asking what she thought of me, and said that I was a good friend, but I wasn't really her type. I didn't say anything else while we were there, and cried a little to my roommate. Mia hasn't said anything about it yet. She's acting pretty much how she always did. I'm trying my best, but I feel like an idiot. TLDR, I got drunk and let it slip. I liked my crush. I am not her type. Story 3. I am still in love with my therapist and don't know what to do. I met my therapist when I was 16 and she was 24. She worked helping kids that were in sped class and we became close. She would always find ways to sit next to me, and I was the only student she gave gifts to. She then gave me the nickname, the Chosen One, and when I told her, what does it mean, she told me, think of it, how you then moved to a different school, but she added me on Instagram. By this time I liked her, but we haven't communicated for about 2 months, but I had a feeling she would come back to my life. We then start catching up on Instagram. She would swipe up on my stories, I would swipe up on hers. I was 17, and she would ask the other helpers if I was okay and checked up on me. She texted the other helper to see when she could visit, but only if I'm there. I was missing a few days of school, so that's why she asked. 6 months went by and I haven't seen her, just texted. She texted me saying that she was going to be my new therapist, and she fought hard and told her boss that she wanted to be my therapist. We reunited, and I knew that I was already falling in love with her. She then was getting a lot more unethical. She was being inappropriate. The ways my therapist was being inappropriate is when she added me on Instagram. She texted me, "Who's your GF now these days?" Asked me what my type is during a session. I asked her if she was supposed to have me on Instagram, and she said, "I'm definitely not, don't tell anyone." Would tell me I made her nervous when I made eye contact with her. Gave me gifts and told me not to tell anyone. When she went to my house for a session, she followed me to my room and told me, "You're not going to give me a tour." I knew this was bad, but I didn't care because I'm still young and having a hot therapist like me was fun. I had a feeling she wanted to sleep with me, but I was too nervous, so I just disregarded it and did nothing about, which I still regret today. I turned 18 and she wasn't going to be my therapist anymore because she doesn't work for kids. During our last session, we went for a walk, and I told her I would rather unalive myself than be with her in a joking way. I joke like that with my boys, so I kind of forgot she's not one of the boys. I don't think she took that as a joke. After our last session, she never texted me anymore, and when I texted her, she would be dry. I'm still in love with her, and I've been in love with her for about a year and a half. I'm still in love till this day. I texted her confessing my feelings, to which she didn't respond. I basically got rejected, but thought that she was mad because I told her that I would rather unalive myself than be with her. I texted her I'm sorry. After that, she texted me 2 months later, and when I respond, she doesn't text back. I was angry that she made me feel like this for almost 2 years, and she could just not say anything to me. I've tried telling her to come over, and she didn't respond. The last thing I sent her is that you groomed me, and I will be reporting you, and sent her a Reddit story I made 2 months ago about the situation, and everyone agreeing that she groomed me. I haven't texted her, she blocked me from viewing her stories, but she didn't unfollow me. What should I do? I'm still in love with her, but I'm pretty sure it's over and she doesn't like me anymore. Should I still report her? How can I not be in love with her anymore? Story 4. Am I crazy for not being able to trust my boyfriend after watching his location for 3 hours? My boyfriend just started a new job where he travels for work. He has left for training a few days ago. He's only been gone like 2 days. I noticed that he has made some friends with another guy. Mind you, we are in a gay relationship. He has been getting rides from the friend to stores like Walmart and whatnot since he's been there. And he also gets a ride from him to training since he said he doesn't want to take the bus. Since he's been verbal about every time they have hung up, I had no issue whatsoever with them hanging out, even though the guy is also gay apparently. It was overall exciting, and I understand how this job is about building close relationships with crewmates, and I just want him to get out there and enjoy himself. My boyfriend said he was at the store with him, and he spent all the money he had on food for the next 2 weeks. So I told him to just let me know if he needed anything, and I would do what I can to support him in this situation. After he finished training today, he said that he was in a class of multiple people who wanted to get together and go out and get some drinks. I just went with it because I didn't know if it was appropriate to have any feelings about this, but I just knew he told me that he had no money, so I'm wondering who is going to be paying for his drinks naturally. Because of this thought, I could not stop myself from watching his location while at work. I watched his location the entire time, and I noticed that when he got back to his hotel, he didn't actually go straight to his room. He went to the friend's room, and he was there from about 9 to 10 p.m. and assumed he wanted to get back to his room to make it seem like he was there, because he knows that I go to break at 10:30 p.m. When I noticed this, I was kind of freaking out, But at the same time, I just thought I would just be verbal about it with him and see if when I ask him what he did today matches up with where his locations went and whatnot. Maybe they were just having a good time talking or whatever, who knows. But when I asked him about it, he said that he got back to his room around 7:30 to 8 p.m., and that isn't the case. And I told him I was watching his location, and I know that he was in his friend's hotel room, which is honestly very uncomfortable for me, especially now, knowing that he was trying to keep this away from me for whatever reason. I know I am breaking by looking at my boyfriend's location, but I am in my first relationship ever, and I really just have had a horrible experience with family growing up, and I have a hard time trusting anyone. I've never lied to him, and I never would. But now I'm having trouble looking at him the same way, and I really don't know if I can ever trust him. Maybe it was just a white lie, but it was a lie and it meant a lot to me. When I asked him about it, he just said, "What am I supposed to tell you every last place that I go? Should I tell you every conversation I have, every last person?" Honestly, I was just a little bit worried because during my break, I went to FaceTime him and he just didn't answer, and I was really feeling upset and confused. I've never been in a relationship before. If you can offer any kind of help for me right now, please do. And is this something that I should forgive? Because I honestly don't know. I told him I would sleep on it and talk to him tomorrow. Peace. When I asked why he didn't let me know, he said because he didn't want me to react the way I am right now. I told him I no longer feel comfortable with him working this job and that I don't feel this is going to work for me. Now I feel bad that I'm basically giving him an ultimatum between me and Pershing this career by saying that. He said that he was in there talking to his friend and then fell asleep on his couch while his friend continued to work. Everyone keeps asking why I'm checking his location. It's because he told me he loved me after like 4 weeks and offered to share bank accounts as well as move in together after 2 months. I declined, but never really fully could trust him because of this. Anyways, I broke up with him this morning. I'm not trying to make anyone upset. I am 23 years old, and this is my first ever breakup. He hasn't responded since yesterday, and I feel like a different person came out on the phone that completely turns me off. Anyways, thank you all for the kind words, and I wish everyone the best.